Women does this when secretly turned on by you. Most men think arousal looks obvious heavy. Eye contact, flirtatious laughter, or touching your arm. They're wrong. That's how women act when they want you to know they're into you, but when a woman is secretly turned on when she's aroused but trying to hide it, the signs are sharper, stranger, and more primal, and most men miss them. Psychologists suggest arousal doesn't just make women expressive, it makes them guarded because, in her mind, desire equals vulnerability if she reveals it too early. She loses power, but here's the truth: her body always betrays her mind. If you can read these hidden cues, you gain sexual leverage. Most men will never even see you unlock the part of her she's trying to keep hidden, even from herself, and that is where real attraction lives. Let's break them down. 1. She breathes through her mouth without realizing. If this isn't about being out of breath, it's about preparation. Studies in arousal psychology show that when a woman is sexually stimulated, her parasympathetic system activates, loosening jaw tension and slightly parting the lips. If she starts speaking slower, or her mouth hangs just barely open in stillness, she's not tired. Her body is preparing for intimacy, and she doesn't even know it's obvious, but hidden in plain sight. And when this happens, you don't react, you observe and lead with calm precision. Masculine stillness becomes a container for feminine unraveling. 2. She breaks her own conversational rhythm. Most women speak with flow until arousal disrupts it. If she suddenly trails off, stumbles mid-thought, or reroutes a sentence she was confident in, that's not awkwardness, it's internal interference. Sexual tension scrambles verbal flow because her mind is fighting a desire spike. Her emotional regulation battles rising heat, and you hold eye contact. You don't feel the silence. Let her sit in the glitch, because that glitch is her body signaling a shift, a breakdown of her usual control. 3. Her touch loses function when arousal creeps in. Purposeful gestures, like adjusting clothes, picking up objects, or using her phone, lose efficiency if she drops something she didn't need to touch, forgets where she put her bag, or awkwardly misbuttons a jacket. That's not clumsiness, that's disrupted motor function. Arousal messing with coordination and timing. Her system is overloaded, her body is speaking louder than her thoughts. Masculine calm becomes the anchor. You stay grounded, she spirals inward and feels strangely safe doing it. For she asks for your opinion on something visual. Do you like this dress? What's your type? This isn't validation seeking, this is covert sexual self-framing. She's not asking what she likes, she's offering herself as the test case. Sexual interest activates self-display psychology, especially through appearance. If she opens the door for you to comment on her look, she's asking for permission to escalate, and she may not even know it. Consciously grant it subtly, not with praise, but with selection, with quiet, masculine discernment, not flattery, but awareness. 5. She moves unnecessarily but stays close. Arousal drives motion. If she starts repositioning, shifting weight, reaching for things she doesn't need, but never actually steps away, she's displacing energy. This isn't nervousness, this is sublimated sexual energy. With nowhere to go, she's not leaving, she's charging. She's trying to move that energy without showing what it is, and you keep your frame still. The contrast magnifies your control, because while she stirs the space, you anchor it. She senses that grounded presence and begins to orbit it. 6. She shows micro-resentment. When you disengage, you change the subject, you check your watch, you talk to someone else. If she flinches, withdraws, or suddenly goes cold, it's not ego, it's sexual interruption. Her arousal was rising, and you disrupted the charge. That flash of attitude is loss, aversion in action. It's not about the words, it's about the emotional interruption. Don't apologize. Let her recalibrate and come back. That emotional spike is leverage. That mini emotional flare-up is evidence of growing investment. 7. She references something you did earlier that wasn't sexual. Sexual interest amplifies memory. If she recalls a random phrase you said, emotion you made, or how you leaned against the wall, that's fixation. Her arousal is anchoring to masculine cues. It means she's running the tape again, replaying what triggered her emotional spike. You don't gloat. You just double down on those same traits without acknowledging it. Subconscious desire responds to repetition, and by giving her consistency, you feed her attraction without feeding your ego. 8. Her pupils constrict, not dilate. You've heard pupils dilate when someone's aroused, true, but that's when arousal is safe, when she's secretly turned on. And fighting it, her pupils constrict. It's a protective reflex, trying to Reduce visual intake to regulate emotional overwhelm. That's not disinterest, that's internal pressure building. She can't let herself fully feel it yet, but her body is already shifting into defensive desire mode. Let it build. Don't rescue her from it. Don't over-explain or soothe at the moment. Let her sit in that emotional heat. You are not there to cool her down, you are there to let her rise. 9. She adjusts her language to match yours sexually. If you make a slightly suggestive remark and she begins using double entendre euphemisms or ambiguous phrasing, she's entering your sexual frame without openly admitting it. It's linguistic consent. It's her way of playing in the space. Without risking direct rejection, keep your tone slow, ambiguous, and dry. Let her escalate with language. You just maintain the frame, because once she's inside your rhythm, her emotional safety grows. She begins to trust the space without needing to define it. 10. She blames you for how she feels you're so bad. Why do you say stuff like that? These aren't accusations. They're displaced. Arousal, she's externalizing blame because she's no longer in control of her state. That's the final stage of concealed. Desire, don't deflect. Own it silently. Let her label you the trigger that gives her permission to fall deeper. Because when a woman can blame the feeling on you, she frees herself to feel it fully. She stops protecting herself from you and starts yielding to something deeper. And here's what most men will never understand. Women do not reveal attraction the way men expect. It's not always overt, not always conscious. Her cues are layered, subtle, even conflicting, because female desire is not always loud, but it's always real if you're done hoping for signs and ready to read the signals women hide. If you're ready to become the kind of man who doesn't need validation, but who commands attraction from the core of his being, then subscribe to our YouTube channel, because we go beyond the surface into the signals beneath the surface, where true power lives, where masculine presence meets feminine surrender, without force, without games, just pure, grounded truth.